Hello, my loves. Are you looking for a job? Are you in the interview process? Have you been offered a job? If so, I hope you didn't accept it yet because now is the time to negotiate. And I want you to know that it's always okay and good to negotiate. You do not have to accept right away. In fact, now the power is with you because if you've been offered a job, you know they want you. They like you. They think that you could do good things for their business. And now it's your chance to make a counter offer and negotiate the best salary for you. If it's your first time here, then hello and welcome. I'm Gabby Wallace, your American English teacher and coach, founder of GoNaturalEnglish.com, where you can find my course, Fluent Communication, where we can work more closely together to improve your fluency. It's very common when you're applying for jobs in the United States that they ask you, what is the salary that you want or require? Do not be fooled by this question. It is much better to say something like the market rate instead of a specific number. Or instead of a range even, because if you give a range, often the employer will go with the low end of that range. So do your research and know what the market rate is for this role or position and try to get the employer to say the first number. You could use a phrase like, my expectations are equivalent with the current market rate for this position. That's a great one because it's an answer, but it's very mysterious. If you need to give a number, you could say, based on my research, the market range for this position is between $100,000 and $200,000, for example. Don't bring up salary numbers right away. Wait for the right time. Make sure that you've been offered the job already. I know it's so hard to wait to this point, but you have to wait until you've been offered the job or at least discussed the role and responsibility at length. You could use a phrase like, I would love to know more about this role and the responsibilities before we talk about the salary. Of course, everyone wants to know the salary for a position, and it's really nice when it's actually listed on the job ad. But at the end of the day, you have to show your interest in the position and your capability to do it. Why are you a good candidate? You have to sell yourself to the employer, so to speak, get that job offer in hand, and then negotiate for the best salary. When you're negotiating, especially a job offer and a salary, be clear and confident. Even if inside you're feeling desperate for the job or anxious or wondering if they even like you or want to offer you the job, stay cool. And in fact, this is a good time to repeat some affirmations to yourself, like opportunities are abundant and there are so many great jobs out there just waiting to hire me. Retraining your brain, having a positive mindset really makes a difference when you're looking for a job and negotiating your salary. So speak clearly and try a phrase like, based on my skills and experience, I am expecting a salary in the range of $100,000 to $200,000. When you're offered a job, do not accept immediately. Use a phrase like, thank you, let me think about it. Or I'm interviewing in several different companies right now, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So don't beg them to tell you what the salary is. Remember, you are in high demand because you have developed your skills and experience and professionalism so that lots of companies want you, right? Another phrase I like is, let me sleep on it and get back to you with a decision. That way, the control is in your hands. It's up to you to get back to them, not the other way around. Remember to highlight your value. Now is not the time to be humble. And I've seen this so many times before. My English learners do not like to brag. But remember, it is not their responsibility to know everything you've done in your career or all the amazing experience you have. So now, more than ever, is your chance and your responsibility to be your best hype man. A hype man means someone who talks you up. Imagine, how would a friend introduce you if you were going on stage to give an important talk? They would mention your achievements, your awards, your titles, your experience. Be your best friend in your interview. Even if it's hard to talk about how great you are, imagine that you are talking about your best friend, but it's you. So here's an example phrase. Given the experience I bring in, for example, engineering, and my success with consulting, for example, I believe a higher salary reflects the value that I bring. When you say these phrases, don't be defensive, don't be argumentative, just speak clearly and confidently. When negotiating a salary, consider the whole package. So it's not just about money, although of course money is important. Think about, are you able to work remotely or from home a few days a week? That's worth a lot to me personally, having that flexibility. How much vacation time do you get? Benefits, a retirement account, or something else? Consider what's important to you and push for that. Here's another phrase you can use. Is there flexibility in the bonus structure or other benefits? Here's a phrase to negotiate your salary. Would you be open to a salary closer to $200,000? Be ready to counteroffer. Once the employer has made the job offer and made that initial salary offer, consider it just that. It's just a starting point. Now it's your turn to make the counteroffer. Don't be shy. Be reasonable, but know your worth. After you've gone back and forth a couple or few times with your potential new employer about your new salary, know when it's time to stop. You can use a phrase like, I understand the budget constraints. Let me think about it and get back to you. Even if you're at a point where you're very happy with the salary, just cool your jets, slow down, stay calm and confident in yourself. I don't like to rush into anything or accept right away. So it's always a good idea to say, let me sleep on it and get back to you. Most importantly, when you're negotiating a new job offer and a salary, stay positive, stay excited. Don't express disgust or disdain or disappointment with their job offer. You can be happy and excited at their initial offer and still make a counter offer. It's very important to stay positive and show your interest throughout the process. Here's a phrase to use. I'm really excited about this opportunity, and I want to figure out a package that works for both of us. Here's a few more example phrases for negotiating your salary that you can practice with me. I was hoping for something closer to $200,000 given my experience. Is there any flexibility in the offer? I'm confident that my skills in Excel will allow me to contribute greatly, and I'd like to discuss a compensation that reflects that. How did you arrive at this figure for the salary? When negotiating your salary, here are some cultural considerations for a job in the United States with Americans. Be direct but polite. We expect you to negotiate and ask for more. We value directness and respect. So it's okay to make a counteroffer, but do it nicely. It is normal to negotiate. In the United States, employers expect you to ask for more, especially for professional roles. So the more professional your position, the more you can negotiate. This is not to say that if you're going for an entry-level position that you can't negotiate. I say always negotiate. What is there to lose? Showing belief in your value and your worth is seen as positive. confidence is key. On that note, you have to be ready to walk away if the salary just doesn't cut it for you, if it's just not enough and doesn't seem to value your experience. Remember, there are always other jobs and opportunities out there. Individualism. Americans are so into the individual. So focus on what you as one person can bring to their company, not on what you bring to the team or what you as part of a team would bring to the whole company. Remember, you are the main character and the superhero of this job interview. And keep a professional tone. So avoid being too aggressive or too casual. Well, I am rooting for you, meaning I am supporting you and encouraging you and excited for you in your professional growth, especially using English as your second language. So if you'd like to work more with my help to improve your fluency, your negotiation skills, and your career, then come to GoNaturalEnglish.com. I'll see you there. Bye for now.